has only 3 million people compared with 1,300,000,000 in China. Just, there's empty land. Everything is so empty. And it's a fair size country, but it is very, very, very sparsely populated. In fact, it's the 18th largest country in the world by area, and it's the most sparsely populated country in the world.
Half of the population live in capital.
Yes, yes, 1/2 of the population lives in the capital. Another interesting thing is the Gobi Desert. You have heard of the Gobi Desert? It's one of the largest deserts in the world. It is in Mongolia. We stopped at a train stop. At a train station, there was a sandstorm. I stepped outside the train and I got sand in my eyes. I could not see. But this is what it looked like. And as I say, it just was such a shock after China. This was May, maybe about May 8th, and that is snow on the ground. This is the capital, Ulaanbaatar, and that is a statue of Genghis Khan, their hero. These are students who graduated, who are celebrating. This is outside of Ulaanbaatar. On the side of the road, they had some camels. Camels are used there for transportation and for carrying goods across the desert. Yes.
Did you try to ride the camel?
No, 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 no. I only take photos. I did not pet them, no. I have read that camels are not very friendly. And there he is. That statue is probably about 20 stories high. It is huge, absolutely huge. You can take an elevator up and go to his eyes and look out.
It's made from stone.
It is made from steel.
Steel?
From steel. They are building, in this vast desert, they have this enormous statue of Genghis Khan, and they are building his warriors. They're going to build a whole army of his warriors there to attract tourists.
Where did they find the steel?
Mongolia, they have factories, and Mongolia is very rich in minerals, in iron, in coal, and mining is a very big industry.
Soviet Union
And, and Russia, yes, yes. These are, they call them gurs. We usually call them yurts. And these are non-permanent structures that people live in. The nomadic people live in them. They stay in one place for several months, where they're mostly sheep and goats and maybe a few cows can graze. Then they take these down and move to another area where their animals can graze. This is a traditional Mongolian meal. It is Mongolian barbecue. They put, that is mutton, lamb, and they put it in that pot and cook it on the fire. And that is what it looks like. It's pretty good.
It's like
Yes,
so it's only meat or also a very fat soup.
yes, and it's fatty meat, yes, but
And
it's good.
one can eat it only while it's hot,
Oh, okay.
or drink a lot of hot.
Or drink a lot of vodka, yes. The mountains there, the mountains are beautiful. This was one of our guides there in traditional dress. Ah, and there's our sandstorm again. No, sand, sand. Ah, okay. I don't see many, oh, I was going to talk to you about India, but it looks like I did not put many photos on, no. Okay. Do you want to hear about Vietnam or Japan? Or Sri Lanka?
Japan.
This is maybe India.
Which one?
Actually, that's Sri Lanka. But let's talk about Sri Lanka. I was in India with a tour for 4 weeks. Very interesting. And then I had about 10 days of time on my own, so I decided to go to Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon. It is an island just southeast of the India. It is very tropical, very hot. It is a small area, you know, it's an island, it's fairly small. It is heavily populated. And it is, most of the people there are Buddhists, but there are some Hindus. Is it? No, I think it is Hindus who live in the north, and there has been constant fighting between the Hindus and the Buddhists. Now, finally, peace was brokered in the early 1990s. And at that point, Sri Lanka started to develop. It is still a poor country because of the war. It is poorer than Ukraine. And again, because it could not develop while it was at war. It was interesting seeing India. India is very, very, very developed. Although it's very crowded, it's very developed, not as much as China, but I was quite surprised at how, at the roads and the internet and the education of the people in India. Sri Lanka, but on the other hand, is still, it's much, It's barely a second world country, I would say. Here, and I went there on my own, but because it is so poor and so inexpensive there, I was able to hire a private tour guide, a young man, a young Sri Lankan man who speaks pretty good English, and he drove me around for about 7 days. And, we had a great time driving and stopping and seeing things. Here we stopped at a small bricklaying, I wouldn't call it a factory, but a shop where they make bricks. And we were seeing how they make the bricks out of the soil, which is very much clay. And they put in water and straw, mix it, let it dry, and put it in a form to shape it.
It's all handmade.
Handmade bricks.
Without machines.
Without machines, yes. This is coconut. We stopped on the side of the road. There was a little stand. A woman was selling coconut. Now, something I did not know, there are 2 kinds of coconut. One kind that has mostly meat in it, that you use like for cooking and baking, and to make coconut cake, coconut ice cream. This kind of coconut has milk in it. And what the woman did, who was selling the coconuts, she would punch a hole in the top, put in a straw, and we would drink the coconut milk. It's like water that's maybe just a little bit sweet, but I have read the coconut milk is very healthy. And then after you drink the coconut milk, the woman would, with a machete, cut the coconut in half, and this kind of milky-like substance, maybe a bit like a cheese, you could scoop out and eat. And it's a little bit sweet. It's good. It's like thickened milk. Yes, question?
Yeah, sure. Did you notice any discrimination using internet in India?
In India, there were no limits on the use of the internet. And the internet was widely available there, and almost everybody there has smartphones, cell phones, yes.
And has people of Mongolia internet? Has people of Mongolia internet?
Mongolia, in the city, Ulaanbaatar, yes, we went into one gurt, one of those homes, portable homes. They had cellular panels and a television, a dish, satellite dish for television. And inside their yurt they had a television, a computer, and a washing machine, which I found very interesting. There you can see the coconut with the straw in it that we drank the milk. The other thing that we stopped and got were fresh chestnuts, which were roasted, fresh roasted. And we would buy a bag and sit in the car and eat them. That was our lunch. This is the Indian Ocean, which in Sri Lanka sits in the Indian Ocean. And it has a lot of fish, big fish markets. That is squid, I think, or something, some kind of fish. And more fish, and more fish.
And what about crocodiles?
Alligator.
I don't know, I did not see any crocodiles. Oh, yes. My guide took me out in the boat in a canoe on the lake. It was lovely. This is an elephant preserve, and there were wild elephants there. We could drive through, but we were not allowed to get out of the car. For our safety and probably for the safety of the elephants as well.
And you don't try to ride.
I did not try to ride an elephant.
No elephant, no.
And who was that? A monument. It's like Kazakh Mike.
Oh, that is the
Buddha.
Buddha. That is the Buddha.
Похож на момент.
We stopped in a village and met and had lunch with this woman. This is a palm. She took the palm, and by bending the leaves, she wove it together. Just beautiful. There is her mother sifting the flour. Oh, yes, they made me ride in an ox cart.
Wow.
Monkeys everywhere,
Do
everywhere.
they steal
Cell phones, yes,
Still everything.
yes. I was told, hold on to my cell phone, don't put it down.
Are they
Monkeys will steal them. That is a lizard.
But gigantic lizard.
It was,
Very big lizard.
yes, big.
Was it tasty?
I don't know. This is my guide. There are elephants, but we're not too close. Here we were at the ruins of a temple, and a group of women, older women, came by. I said hello to one of them, and suddenly everyone stopped and said hello to me and wanted my photo taken. Oh, at the temple, I had on a sleeveless top like this. I had to cover my shoulders.
Because of monks?
No monks, just out of respect. And it was hot. It was very hot. But the women were very friendly. And very friendly and welcoming people. And here I was eating some dinner, and there we're in the canoe, and there we're in the ox cart. And there are more Buddhas, and more monkeys.
Buddhas.
More monkeys and more Buddhas. And, oh, there is one, oh, these are all the same,
What
yes.
about
And
Japan? I saw some
It seems we need serious.
very good pictures of Japan. in the
Yes,
Facebook.
yes, I can tell you a little bit about Japan.
seems we need more meetings, like every day stories on
And-
Monday, Wednesday and Friday too.
And about your travel in Russia, it's very interesting too.
Yes, yes. I have been fortunate.
How many countries have you visited after leaving Ukraine?
After,
About a year and a half ago.
since leaving Ukraine, I would say 10 or 12 in the last year. But I realized in my life so far, I have visited about 35 countries. But that means that there are about 150 countries I have not seen yet. So I still have a lot of traveling to do. In October, I am going to Morocco with some friends. And I have never been there. I've heard it's incredible. And again, very different culture. Most of my travel has been in Europe and in Asia. I've been a little bit to South America. Africa, I have only been to Pretoria in South Africa. So I need to see Africa and understand it. And I understand that North Africa and South Africa are very different. North Africa is much more Arabic and Muslim. South Africa is more what we would consider pure African. Central Africa, unfortunately, has a lot of conflict going on. And while I would love to visit it, I'm not sure that it's particularly safe at this time.
How long will you stay here in the city?
In Kropivnitsky, I will leave early Monday morning.
So,
Yes, I will go briefly to Lithuania, and then I have to go back to the United States to see my relatives.
So you are traveling so much, and as far as I understand, you are going to travel to South Africa. Don't you be afraid to be eaten somewhere in South Africa.
In South Africa, no. And I like to think that I'm smart enough to know where the dangers are. So no, I will not go chasing crocodiles or elephants. I will keep away from. Hippopotamus. Yes. And let me see, what time is it now?
it's probably
Need to go because it's rain will be soon.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then maybe when I return,
You will
to-
show us
I will show you
something new.
Morocco and maybe Japan. Japan is an incredible country. It is so developed. It is so very modern, very much a first world country. So very clean. The streets, the sidewalks, everything is clean. And the people are so polite and nice. Okay, now, Ludmilla, which of these three buttons, no?
this.
Thank you. And here, Nastrov, just this. Okay.